Ladies and gentlemen, every war actually needs a war chest. And the war coming to India in a year's time is going to be a very costly one. I'm talking about the general elections in 2024. Do you know how much it is going to cost? 1 lakh crore rupees. I'm going to repeat that for you. Do you know how much the 2024 general elections are going to cost? 1 lakh crore rupees. I'm not saying it. The Center for Media Studies is. And when that happens, it will be the world's most expensive election. At this point, a valid question would be, but the Election Commission has a spending limit of 75 to 95 lakh rupees per candidate, depending on the size of the constituency. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I know this. This limit is a joke. In 2019, about 100 crore rupees was spent per constituency. 100 crores per constituency. So to cut a long story short, you need deep pockets to fight and win elections. And the Congress party says it simply does not have the money. So they are doing an Aam Aadmi Party and crowdfunding the 2024 election. Let me pause for a moment here and tell you what crowdfunding is. Crowdfunding is a way to raise money for a cause or a business or a project. Usually the appeal is sent out via social media and people who donate or want to donate send money to the relevant bank account. But the question is, will the Aam Aadmi Party actually contribute to a party to fight an election? Well, a cash-strapped Aam Aadmi Party did try it in 2019, but their attempt flopped. So can the Congress succeed where the AAP failed? We will see. Let's now take a look at just how badly off the Congress is when compared to the BJP. Let's just say when you look at these numbers and when you look at their bank accounts, the Congress does look like a very poor cousin. The Congress has a kitty of 800 crore rupees. But it's the BJP that's the real crore party. It has a war chest of 6,000 crore rupees. 800 crore rupees versus 6,000 crore rupees. That is really not a fair fight, is it? Now, while the Congress is pinning its hopes on the average citizen to fund their elections, what about the big corporates and fat cats? They donate to political parties, generally during elections, via electoral bonds. Some 9,200 crores have been donated since 2016 when the electoral bond scheme started. Needless to say, the ruling BJP has been the biggest beneficiary, getting 57% of the share. The Congress is a poor second at 10%, and the TMC is third in line with 8%. Now, who are these big corporates and rich people who donate via electoral bonds? We don't know. Under state law, their identities are a state secret that we, the citizens, have absolutely no right to know. The government has a right to know, but not you and me, not citizens. Strange, unfair, opaque. Anyhow, back to the Congress's crowdfunding plans. Will it work? Let's ask our guest this evening. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Mr. R.S Pathania, spokesperson of the BJP, Advocate Mahenama Singh, spokesperson of the Congress Party, and Sanjay Jha is an author joining us on the broadcast. Sanjay Jha, what do you think of the plan? I mean, theoretically, no harm, why not? But it was a big flop for the Aam Aadmi Party, we know that. And to honestly expect people of India to, to first pay taxes and then to fund our elections as well doesn't seem fair.
Sure, I'm actually very delighted to be on your program because I have had very strong views on the subject that I've communicated to people within the Congress earlier, and I've written about it in my book. So let me tell you exactly what I said. Here is the first point. Number one, I was astonished that the India's Attorney General today said that the citizens of India don't have a right to know as to who funds political parties. I mean, that was such a shocking manifestation of political arrogance. I mean, you and I are being told, Shreya, and the viewers of your very respected program, that you have no right, according to the government of this country, to know who funds the political parties. And since we talk of corruption every other day, the truth is that India will remain a corrupt party at the core until the question of political transparency in campaign finance is introduced. Point number one. So the BJP doesn't believe it is necessary. What the Congress should do, I mean, that's something that we can control. And I told that to the Congress, and I think you have a spokesperson here on the program as well. My logic is that if over 60, even higher than that percentage goes to the BJP, the Congress should stop taking electoral bonds altogether and go to the people of India and say that the BJP needs to tell you who are the people who are funding it, because that, Shreya, in my opinion, is the quid pro quo, where the real business and the corporate, politics nexus will be exposed. We don't even have to take names, but I can tell you there'll be big fish here. I live in Mumbai. I've been a former banker. I'm well connected to industry. I can tell you, you'll have a massive expose in India. I have told this to the Congress repeatedly, that you stop taking electoral bonds. But until you take electoral bonds, even if you're getting 2% of the money, you lose the moral defense to question the BJP. Number one. Number two, if you go to the people of India through crowdsourcing, you might start small, but the Congress, unlike other parties, AAP is, let's be honest, like a startup political party which has now matured. But the Congress has roots all over the country. If the Congress was to run a campaign which is retail driven, give me 10 rupees, 50, 100, I don't know, whatever denominations, you not only get people who are truly those who believe in your ideology, you're actually doing a survey of people who believe in you. Because nobody will give money if they don't believe in you. A BJP supporter will never give money to the Congress. And I do believe that the Congress person will never give money to the BJP. So you'll actually get your grassroots activated. In politics, if you get your grassroots activated, and if people start giving you even small token sums of money, you're actually spreading your influence down at the retail level.
So essentially what you are saying, Mr. Jha, is that crowdfunding is more than just financing. It's much, much more than that. It's not just about the money, it's about the connect as well.
Absolutely.
But Advocate Mahima Singh, when it comes to electoral bonds, although I don't want to speak about electoral bonds because that is something that my colleague Shreya Dhoundial will be doing at 10 o'clock, but I know the subjects are intertwined. Fact is, the Congress is being pushed into crowdfunding. Why? Because they don't have the money, some 800 crores versus the BJP's 6,000 crores. That's the reality. Now, how can you force a corporate to, to donate to the Congress party if they don't want to? If 60% of electoral funding is going to the BJP, maybe there's reason for it. Maybe corporates want stability. Maybe they don't trust the Congress party.
Jai Hind. I will begin with these lines by Firak Gorakhpuri Shreya. कोई समझे तो एक बात कहूं, कोई समझे तो एक बात कहूं. इश्क तौफीक है, गुनाह नहीं. Tawfiq is hosla. So, that is the courage that the Congress party had when the British Raj was here predominant in this country. And I would like to remind those who are doubting our capacity of doing what we are going to do. However, you just pointed out rightly that we've been pushed into it. We have been compelled to do it. But we did it to topple the British Raj. We'll do it to topple the BJP Raj, to bring them to the grounds, to remind them that the crowdfunding is one of the best ways to also awaken the public conscience, to also shake up the public conscience, to trigger the very important questions of, public interest that probably, the glamorous campaigns have pushed aside. And I think that is what the most relevant point should be today. But when you said that electoral bonds are intertwined and, it'll be talked about on a later show, I would like to bring focus to a couple of very important questions here, because why have we been compelled to resort to crowdfunding as our primary financial, generation regime? Is because some questions have remained unanswered for a rather long time. Number one is, you would remember Ashok Lavasa's curious case, and you would remember that he pointed out to the breaches by the Prime Minister himself in the Model Code of Conduct when he invoked the public conscience and he asked for votes in the name of Pulwama. Ashok Lavasa was the only officer who was targeted and had to quit the election commission. So why was it so? Why has the Modi government chosen to override the directions given by the Supreme Court in the appointment of the Election Commission of India? Why is it that the gap between the vote share is increasing in proportion to the funds received by the BJP through electoral bonds? Why is it, and you rightly pointed out earlier on your show, why is it that 50% of these electoral bonds, the funds through electoral bonds are going to one party? You say it is because of the stability. I say it is also in proportion with the increasing, ever so increasing wealth of Mr. Modi's crony capitalist friend. So these questions need to be answered. The public
Acha.
conscience needs to be invigorated, and we shall do so.
But
we are here to
Mahima,
fight. We have won a Himachal
but
Pradesh, a Karnataka,
Mahima,
and the Modi government will be reminded of the public conscience and its power in 2024.
No, we need a strong opposition in the country. I always say that. So if the opposition does well in an election, democracy does well in an election. But again, the point, while it is all very well for us to question the lack of transparency when it comes to electoral bonds, who is donating to which political party is something that we don't know, because the law of the land doesn't allow us this transparency. The government can find out very easily, but citizens cannot find out because it doesn't come under the RTI. So that's unfair, and the Supreme Court is starting to hear the matter once again tomorrow. But again, the fact is that if you're not getting funding via electoral bonds, it's maybe because the corporates don't trust you. Businesses like stability, and maybe it's just the case that businesses don't trust the Congress party and the governments they bring in. That is one point you may have overlooked. But can I just get the BJP spokesperson here, Mr. R.S Pathania? Mr. R.S Pathania, I was, when I was starting the show, I was wondering who will donate to the Congress party. Crowdfunding itna successful kya hamari country mein hota hai ya nahi hota hai? And then I quickly looked at how much money the Ram temple, the Ram Mandir has got for its construction. Sara paisa jo hai, wo Bharatvaasiyon se aaya hai, right? It's people of India, Hindus of India who have contributed to the Ram Mandir, some 6,000 crore rupees. So it's not like Indians will not donate to a cause if they believe in that cause. Do you think the Congress is a cause that India is willing to donate to?
Absolutely not. I'll also start with an Urdu couplet. पहले आती थी बात बात पे हंसी, अब किसी बात पे नहीं आती. काबा किस मुंह से जाओगे गालिब, शर्म तुमको मगर नहीं आती. Congress speaking about political corruption and crony capitalism. My respectful submission, and with respect, I want to correct your statement also. This is not at all corporate funding. Bharatiya Janata Party has a wider membership base. It has a wider ideological base. We as member parliament, we have been donating one salary per year in the kitty of the party.
Mr. Pathania, Mr. Pathania, can I just correct you here? Don't say it's not corporate funding. Because which is 95% of the demand. आप सुन लीजिए. अच्छा सुन लीजिए, आप क्योंकि आपने बोला it's not corporate funding, तो मैं आपको जरा बता दूं, and these are not figures that I'm cooking up as I'm having this debate with you. 95% of the denomination that comes in for electoral bonds is 1 crore rupees plus. अब कोई 1 crore rupees बोल रहा है तो उसको हम कॉर्पोरेट ही बोलेंगे और कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. कोई आम आदमी पार्टी तो आपको अपनी जेब से 1 crore रुपए नहीं इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड में डालेगा.
Madam Shreya, with due respect, you cannot overlook, and anybody cannot neglect that the Bharatiya Janata Party has the biggest support and membership base across the world. So every membership means a somewhat contribution from the members. The MLAs, the member parliaments, they have been donating one salary 1 year on a minimum. The corporates having ideological moorings deeply entrusted in the Bharatiya Janata Party's way of running the country, they are also donating it. So we have a wider base, we have a wider acceptability, we have a wider ideological moorings, we have a better way of convincing the corporates that we mean stability, we mean a better government, we mean a better trading atmosphere. We don't believe in here and there. We don't believe in just now banking with and now shredding them off the flood. We don't believe in it. So my respectful submission that Congress, this is another a dejected, despondent Congress which has lost the moral, ethical, and political impulse. The crowdfunding is another new gospel which will not work. Congress is absolutely a rejected force. the issueless, agendaless, purposeless Congress, they cannot spin another surprise out of this gospel of crowdfunding. Another, my watchword, my personal opinion, that this is the point where we need to have an all-party consensus and we need to have a way out. State funding of elections, though that's not the Bharatiya Janata Party's viewpoint, my personal viewpoint. State funding of my personal view, we should stick to the state funding of elections. This unaccounted for, so-called unaccounted for, this so-called what we call black money usage. The government has introduced a slew of measures, but even then we need to move far ahead. Each and every money spent in election needs to be accounted for.
Okay. This is my personal opinion. That money is never accounted for. Can I get him, Mr. Jha? Mr. Jha, you know, Mr. Pathania has said his piece in a rather long one. Mr. Pathania, ruk jaiye. Ab ho gaya. Mr. Pathania has said his long piece, but he has a point in what he's saying. He's saying that it's not just electoral bonds that are giving the BJP money. The fact is that people are donating to the BJP as well, and not just here in India, but abroad as well. For example, 50% of the BJP's funding, their coffers are filled by donations, which is, I think, 7 times more than any other party. So the BJP's base seems to be better, and their vote bank seems to be better at supporting the party financially as well. And that is not the case for the Congress party or any other party.
Shreya, let me tell you, the question that we all need to ask ourselves, especially your viewers need to know this, that until they brought this electoral bond scheme, all political parties had to give the name of a donor who gave more than rupees 20,000 to the political party. That to me is transparency. And Shreya, while I have been critical of many things of AAP, I applaud them for trying to be transparent and putting up their data on the website of whoever gave whatever money they donated. Now, here's the second point. I agree with you totally, Shreya, that the people will give money to a political party based on its potential to win. Nobody likes to back a loser. But when it comes to corporate funding, I can tell you because I've been part of the corporate sector, no company likes to, put all its eggs in one basket because they know that there is BJP today, tomorrow it will be Congress, there will be a third front day after. This is bound to happen. It might start with 2024. Now, here is where the differences come in. Under this government, and we all know it, let's not even pretend that we don't, there is a culture of serious political vendetta. Now, let me tell you, the corporates in this country are aware that if they donate any money through electoral bonds to maybe the others, so you can see only 35 or 40%, for some time it was 95% going to the BJP. The government of India will know which corporate has given which money, how much money to which political party. They have access to it because they will know the SBI bank which is receiving the donations. So in a culture of political vendetta, corporates are scared. I mean, they will be hesitant to give the money to the Congress. Now, here is the bigger point, that end of day, Shreya, in my opinion, ideally speaking, and this is what we should all of us ask for, and if you debate this on your program, please call me. Political parties, in my opinion, should be given the freedom to raise whatever money they want. So supposing if everybody today is bullish on the BJP and gives it 25,000 crores, I have no problem. But with one condition, the BJP will have to disclose each and every transaction of a donor publicly on a website that anybody can access on an RTI. Because that's the only way you will get to know as to where are the deals happening, where is the crony capitalism, where is the quid pro quo. If supposing in a free market, the Congress raises only 800 crores because the people don't believe in you, too bad. But it should be a free market operation, but backed by a transparency.
Mr. Pathania, what's the problem in transparency? What's the problem if the citizens of India can find out who donated how much to which political party? What is the problem in that? छुपाने की क्या बात है भाई इसमें? चोरी तो है नहीं?
No problem at all, Shreya. Absolutely, I think this is a period of churn.
If there is no problem, why is the government officially telling the Supreme Court, why is the government then officially telling the Supreme Court that the people of this country don't really need to know who's donating how much to electoral bonds? This is your official stand in the Supreme Court, sir.
Shreya, this is a period of churn. For first off, online bankings, zero corruption, all money lending into the kitties of the people for whom it is virtually meant. This is the period of churn. I am hopeful and healthy argument and a healthy conclusion will emerge out. And ultimately, this unaccounted for flow of money in the electoral coffers of political parties, this will come to an end and government will also come to a constructive conclusion. We are telling a single side of the story. There's a CIC order, Central Information Commissioner's order. That order is based on certain premises, certain legal principles also. The government has submitted an affidavit.
What is the special premise here?
Which is again sustaining on certain legal
what is the special premise here?
But this is a
how's the government of India bigger than the people of India? How's the government of India bigger than the people of India?
Absolutely not.
It's not.
Cannot be.
So how is it that the central bank can declare the name of donors and their contributions to the government of India, but not to the people of India? And this is, by the way, the BJP's and the government's official stand in the Supreme Court.
I'll again submit, Shreya. This is a period of churn. A constructive conclusion shall ultimately emerge out. And ultimately, the issue will be settled. And a healthy end to this story will be there. A cleaner elections with free and fairness, election with proper flow of money, and elections with virtually deserving candidates being pushed to the center stage. This is the watchword. This is the sentiment of the people of India, and Bharatiya Janata Party being the party of the people, for the people.
The election of 2024 is going to cost 1 lakh crore rupees. Okay. Mahima Singh, my last question is to you. The people of this, and just take 20 seconds, please. 1 lakh crore rupees is what the 2024 election is going to cost. You are pinning your hopes on crowdfunding. Why? I understand that crowdfunding is not just about the money. It's about the outreach as well. But honestly, is there hope that the people of India will contribute to your cause, given that they don't vote for your cause?
इन अंधेरों से परे इस शबे गम से आगे एक नई सुबह भी है शामे अलम से आगे. Shreya, and with those lines, I would try to bring this very quintessential reminder to the people of this country that we do not have right to know about PM Cares Fund. The government will not give us any data. The government will not give us any data of the electoral bonds. Yet, when you ask about the corporates, they blatantly deny. They force us into believing that this is a more transparent scheme. They do not admit that this is not the stability that the corporates may be voting, may be contributing towards, but beneficiaries, friends with benefits. And we have seen how we've been raising questions about 20,000 crores of the people of this country being invested in shell companies. We've been asking whose money is this? So the BJP's hypocrisy is out for everybody to see, and there is hope, and you will see that the dawn will break to these dark times. As the BJP spokesperson rightly said, these are the times of churning, and the people of India and their conscience is churning consistently, and the outcome will be seen in 2024.
Okay. It's an interesting political experiment. We'll see how it goes. Thank you very much, Advocate Mahima Singh, for joining us. Mr. Pathania, good to have you on the show. Sanjay Jha, thank you very much for your time here as well. Thank you very much, all three of you.